Once upon a time, in a lush and vibrant forest, two trees grew side by side. One was a mighty oak, and the other a slender bamboo. The oak, towering and thick, was the pride of the forest. Its trunk was wide, and its branches reached high above the forest floor, casting a large shadow over the ground. Birds often nested in its branches, and animals sought refuge under its vast canopy. The oak tree was proud of its strength. It would often boast to the other trees in the forest, telling them about how it had withstood many storms and harsh weather. "Look at me," it would say. "I am the strongest tree in the forest. No storm can shake me. I am solid, unyielding, and I stand tall against all challenges." On the other hand, there was the bamboo, a much smaller and more delicate-looking tree. It was tall, but it had a slender trunk, and its leaves would rustle in even the slightest breeze. The bamboo tree didn't have the oak's strength, and often the other trees would look at it with pity. "You're too fragile," they would say. "The storms will come, and you will surely break. You can never survive like the oak." The bamboo, however, remained calm. It didn't argue or try to boast about its resilience. Instead, it quietly accepted its nature, knowing it had its own way of surviving the storm. It wasn't as strong as the oak, but it had something else: flexibility. The bamboo knew that while it may not be able to resist the force of nature, it could adapt to it. It bent with the wind instead of resisting it. Seasons passed, and the forest went through its natural cycle. One fateful day, the forest was hit by a great storm. The sky turned dark, and the wind began to howl as it swept through the trees. The clouds gathered, and soon the rain began to pour down in torrents. The storm grew fiercer with each passing minute. The oak tree stood tall and firm, as it always did. "I am strong," it thought. "This storm is no match for me." The wind howled, and the rain battered the forest, but the oak did not bend. It gritted its roots into the earth, hoping to withstand the storm's fierce pressure. As the hours passed, the winds grew stronger and stronger. The oak tree began to groan under the immense force. Its branches, thick and heavy, were no match for the relentless wind. One by one, the oak's mighty limbs snapped under the pressure, and soon the oak's trunk began to crack. The storm was far too powerful for the oak to endure. With a great crash, the oak tree fell to the ground, broken and defeated. Its once proud form now lay sprawled on the earth, unable to rise again. Meanwhile, the bamboo tree, though it was shaken by the storm, had a different approach. When the winds began to howl, it bent low, allowing the gusts to pass over it rather than against it. The bamboo's slender trunk flexed and swayed with the rhythm of the storm. It didn't fight the wind or try to resist it. Instead, it adapted, bending gracefully with each gust. As the storm raged on, the bamboo swayed with the wind, leaning into the fierce gust. It bowed down when the wind pushed hard, then straightened when the gusts eased. Though the storm was intense, the bamboo remained standing, its flexibility allowing it to move with the wind rather than against it. The storm finally passed after hours of chaos. The rain slowed and the winds calmed. When the forest became still again, the other trees slowly came out of hiding to assess the damage. The oak tree, once a symbol of strength and pride, was now a fallen giant. It lay across the forest floor, its broken branches scattered around it. But as the other trees looked around, they saw something surprising. The bamboo stood tall, though slightly bent from the storm's force. It had endured, even though it had been tossed and turned. The bamboo had not fought against the storm. It had simply adapted, bending and yielding to survive. The other trees marveled at the bamboo's resilience. The mighty oak, once proud of its unyielding strength,